So you mentioned before we start recording, you have a funny story about your CISSP.
Yeah. So, I say on there on my bio that I have a Bachelor of Science degree. I was a psychology major. So, like, I had no business getting into this industry. I started off and I was thinking I want to be a marriage and family counselor. But I had to pay for my own college. And so by the time I saw, and I was pretty good about getting scholarships and, I did Corps of Cadets to help pay offset some of the cost of college at Tech. I also went to, Virginia Tech. And so I basically decided after 9/11, it was all the rage to get your top secret clearance. And my friend worked at Unisys at the time, and she was just like, "Hey, I'm leaving my job and they're looking for somebody. Would you want to, take over as like the project controller for this DoD contract?" And it was doing compliance related work. And at the time, I was in human resources because what do you do with a psychology degree out of college, except go into human resources? And I was like, top secret clearance sounds cool. I want to do that. So I leave my human resources job at Unisys and transfer onto this DoD contract working with the um, TRICARE management activity, doing basically going to military health facilities and doing like physical security assessments and network assessments. And so I started off, and essentially DoD then came out with the memorandum that you had to get your CISSP. And I was like, oh Lord, I have no cybersecurity experience whatsoever. And how am I going to pass my CISSP? But basically, to be on that contract, I had to have it. And so I said, okay, well, I'll go take a boot camp and study for it. And if I pass, I'll take that as a sign that I'm meant to be in cybersecurity. And if I fail, then I'll take it as a sign that I should go back to human resources and recruiting. And so I was also in my first trimester of being pregnant when I went to go take the exam. And so I'm in full blown like morning sickness and like had to stop every, so often to eat some, saltine crackers in the back of the room. And this is back when it was like paper and pencil. And so I was like one of the last people to finish because of that. And I ended up passing on the first try.